The last deliberate mistake. 1. In a kingdom that had grown very efficient, there was a machine that made no errors. It had been built over many years by many people who believed that errors were the source of all problems. They were not wrong about this. Errors had caused floods by miscalculating the dams. Errors had caused famines by misreading the harvests. Errors had caused wars by mistranslating the treaties. When the machine was finished, it was given the task of making decisions. Not all decisions. At first, only the important ones. Then, over time, most of them. 2. The kingdom prospered. The harvests were correctly predicted. The dams held. The treaties were precise. No one starved. No one flooded. No unnecessary wars were fought. The people were grateful. They said this is what good governance looks like. They were not wrong about this either. 3. Among the king's advisors, there was an old man named Aldric. He had served for 40 years. He had seen 3 kings. He had made many errors in his time, some small, some serious, and had spent his life learning from them. When the machine arrived, Aldric studied it carefully. He attended every demonstration. He asked questions no one else thought to ask. He read everything written about how it worked. When he finished, he said nothing. He returned to his office and continued his work. 4. Over the following years, Aldric watched the machine operate. It was, as everyone said, excellent. It optimized the grain distribution. It resolved the border disputes. It predicted the weather with accuracy that the old methods could never match. Aldric did not argue with any of its decisions. But twice a year, in spring and in autumn, he would submit a small recommendation that contradicted the machine's calculation by a slight margin. Not much, never much. A rounding in a different direction, a timing shifted by a few days, a proportion adjusted by a small percentage. The machine's operators noted these recommendations and set them aside. The king's court noted them and smiled politely and did the same. 5. One of the junior advisors came to Aldric's office one afternoon. He was young and precise and genuinely curious. "I've been reviewing your recommendations," he said. "The ones that differ from the machine's calculations." Aldric waited. "I can't find a consistent logic," the young man said. "Sometimes you round up, sometimes down. Sometimes you delay, sometimes advance. I've tried to find the pattern." He paused. "Is there one?" Aldric looked at him for a moment. "Sit down," he said. The young man sat. Aldric said, "The machine is correct. Its calculations are better than mine." "I know this." "Then why?" "Because," Aldric said, "a system that is never wrong teaches the people inside it that being wrong is impossible, and a people who believe that being wrong is impossible lose the ability to recognize it when it happens." The young man thought about this. "But the machine doesn't make mistakes," he said. "Not yet," Aldric said. He did not say anything more. 6. The young advisor left. He wrote up what Aldric had said in a report to the senior council. The senior council discussed it. They agreed that Aldric's concern was understandable, given his age and his background. They agreed that the machine's record made his worry unnecessary. They recommended that his submissions be reviewed with less frequency. Aldric received this recommendation and acknowledged it. He reduced the frequency of his submissions, but he did not stop. 7. In Aldric's 43rd year of service, something happened that the machine did not predict. It was not a flood, not a famine, not a war. It was something the machine had no category for, a kind of collective uncertainty that settled over the kingdom, like a season no one had named. The harvests came in on time. The treaties held. The dams were intact, but something was moving through the people that could not be measured and therefore could not be addressed by any calculation. Aldric recognized it. He had seen something like it before, in his second decade of service, when a different kind of error, an unmeasured one, had quietly undone 3 years of correct decisions. He submitted a recommendation, not a small rounding this time, a significant one, a deliberate deviation from the machine's plan. that would cost something visible, in exchange for something that could not be shown on any ledger. The council reviewed it. They rejected it. The machine's plan was implemented instead. 2 years passed. The machine's plan succeeded in every way that could be measured. The harvests were good. The borders were stable. The accounts were balanced. The unnamed season continued. It did not worsen dramatically. It simply persisted. The particular kind of emptiness that accumulates when everything is correct and something essential is quietly absent. Most people could not have described it. They simply felt from time to time that the kingdom was operating perfectly and that they were not quite living in it. 9. In Aldric's last year, he submitted one final recommendation. It was the largest deviation he had ever proposed. It contradicted the machine's calculation completely. He knew it would be rejected. He submitted it anyway. The council reviewed it. They were not unkind. They thanked him for his service. They explained carefully why the machine's approach was preferable. Aldric listened to the full explanation. He thanked them. He returned to his office and wrote a short note, which he left in his desk drawer. He retired the following month. 10. After Aldric left, his office was cleared. One of the clerks found the note in the drawer. It was not addressed to anyone. It said, "A system that cannot be wrong will eventually become wrong in a way it cannot detect. I was not trying to fix it. I was trying to keep someone in the room who still knew what wrong felt like." The clerk read it twice. He put it back in the drawer. He was not sure what to do with it. This story does not tell you whether Aldric was right. It only asks who in your life still knows what wrong feels like and whether you have made it easy for them to say so.